It went away.
The rain chilled out.
Yeah.
The rain went away. It came again another day.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of RezRootz. Today, I'm sorry. Today, we have special guest Amy. Yay! And returning guest Michael. Okay, Michael's pretty tired, so he said hi, but in his very Michael way. Okay, so today's episode, we'll be talking about Kickoff Kampout. Michael, do you want to explain what Kickoff Kampout is?
Yes, I can. Well, first thing you want to know is that Kickoff Kampout is...
Stop.
No, Kickoff Kampout is basically where we are able to leave campus and really just enjoy being in community with one another, and allows, some more, I guess, for me, it takes away, all the fast going of homework and even just work, but you're able to go somewhere and sort of just put all that aside and be able to be in community and really just, get to know people around you, because, classes here kind of sort of separate us. So, you have, seniors or upperclassmen, don't really, I guess, mingle too much with lower classmen, I guess. So I don't know, for me, it brings together the whole school and the whole, what IBC is of being relational. You're there for camping or glamping. So, you have restrooms and whatnot. So it's not, totally in the wilderness, whatever. But yeah, that's Kickoff Kampout.
Yeah. There's also a day where we get to hang out with our own SF groups, which are spiritual formation groups. So it's a good time to just really hang out in community and really get to know one another on a somewhat more deeper level, because a lot of the times we're taken away from our cell phones and technology, which is nice. We're kind of forced to be in community, which is really fun. Okay. So, Amy, as your first Kickoff Kampout, do you have any highlights?
Well, yeah, I was kind of skeptical going in. I don't really like camping, but when I went there, it was nice to just be in that community and be around people and get to know others kind of better. And we were playing Cast the First Stone, and we all had a lot of laughs with that one. I mean, we were all exposing each other too, man. It got brutal at times. But yeah, so we had a lot of laughs, and that was nice. That was definitely a highlight, especially when going in unsure and not wanting to really be outside as much, but even still, it was nice. And there weren't as many bugs, so that was another highlight. And and then when we were able to go out with our SF groups, that was also nice. And we went to the chocolate factory.
Wow.
And I kept staring and looking around. I'm like, this is a dangerous place for me and my wallet. I ended up not getting much, but still it came out to $15 in the end.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Dang.
It was a lot, but yeah. And then I ended up forgetting my fudge at Starbucks.
Oh, no.
So it's still there, probably. They
Ew.
probably threw it away, but yeah.
Do you have any highlights, Michael?
I have several. So one of them was actually when we got there, able to play cornhole. So that for me was really fun, just because I was winning, and me and this other guy who goes to school, or just fellow student, we won 7 in a row, and it was just crazy because for me, it was just winning. Another highlight happened the next day when we were able to play volleyball with some of the people. And that itself was really fun because, like, I'm an old person. Like, my back just hurts, my knees, my joints. So I was just pushing past my limits, and I was really enjoying like the volleyball and just being able to, just do all that, and really was really fun and just having a great time. Another one was even just, being a part of the fire that was going. We got done with the day, we had dinner, we did our lessons and everything, and we were just all there, having s'mores. And I'm not really a s'more person, so I usually just eat the chocolate or the graham cracker or even just one or two marshmallows. But yeah, just, being in that community was really fun, and even just seeing how, like, just the way people were able to relate to one another and just stories and experiences and stuff. So that was a highlight for me. Another one was hiking the Grand Canyon, being able to go down just a little bit. I think we went to the 1.5-mile rest house, and we turned around and came back up. But even that in itself was really fun. Just like, once again, my knee was really hurting, and so I wasn't able to go I guess, like, it wasn't really an easy walk back up just because of that. But still, like, even just being in all of what God has created, the Grand Canyon, and just seeing how, like, man, like this is big, like, just how like wide and how deep, and then the river being at the bottom, and just seeing how, like, I don't know, like life was just like thriving there, and like even just the native tribe that's been living there for a long time, how they were able to call that place home is like really cool. Just amazing that they, we visit that place, and like we were like just in awe of it. But then you have this tribe here, I think it's Havasupai, who are just call that home, and having that as in their backyard. So yeah, those are highlights I got.
Yeah. My highlight would be playing Cast the First Stone with Amy and some other students, and Cards Christians Like, which is kind of like Cards Against Humanity or Apples to Apples, if you played either one of them, and getting to know the other students' different types of humor, or like in Cast the First Stone, being able to like laugh at each other in a way. It's just like, yeah, I can laugh about things that I've struggled with or things that wouldn't make sense, and people all agree, and it's just a good time to just laugh with each other. And then another highlight would be with my MTS group, since I'm not in an SF group, but I did during our SF group time, I went with my MTS group to the Desert View Tower, and that one was pretty cool because I got to see a good chunk of my reservation. I'm Navajo, so I got to see a huge chunk of the reservation and be able to like point out these little landmarks and say, oh yeah, that's this place, and kind of be at awe with how beautiful the area I grew up in is. Because like when you're there, like in the area, it just seems so dead, and it just feels very dark. But when you look at it from afar, you can just see how much beauty there is in what God has blessed us with, even though it's very barren. Taking a step back is kind of just like, wow, this area is very beautiful, and we are very blessed to be in this area. Just kind of a really good encouragement in that. So with that being said, we'll go on to the next question. What did you learn from the weekend? So like I kind of shared, if you take a step back from the moment you're in, you kind of see the beauty of everything. And that's part of what I'm learning through MTS. So from Kickoff Kampout, what were you guys able to learn?
I I was able to like learn to be more of myself with others, and to just embrace the uncomfortableness of being out in a place where I don't really like being outdoors as much, like camping. Like, I like the outdoors, but camping is a stretch for me because it's away from, the nice facilities we have, bathrooms that have plumbing and mirrors and sinks with running water that's warm, and taking a warm shower when you want and not just having to go a whole, like, what? It was like a whole 10 minutes, actually.
It's
But
like 5 minutes.
yeah, but like having to go somewhere else and then pay for that shower. So it's just like, it's a step out of your comfort zone. But like, I was able to kind of like realize that this is a good thing because it helps me be connected more to God, because, we're in his element and we're out there in his creation. And as much as I'm not really a naturalist like other people are, I still very much value nature, and I value what God has created. And so it's always nice to be out there and see the beauty in everything. And so that was nice. And then also just like the community and having laughs. And it's like, you can't really get that stuff when you're on your cell phones, when you're worried about other stuff, whether it's like just distracted by media or even just like working on schoolwork. And so it was nice to be able to take a break from all that and be there in community and be there laughing with friends, teasing friends, and like,
Bullying them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got bullied. I got bullied a lot.
Yeah.
Breaking them down, tearing them down, just ripping them. No, I'm just kidding. No, we don't do that.
But yeah, the community is just, that was good. And then again, it was just another way to be with God in a way that was away from distractions. And so that was real nice.
What about you, Michael?
Dang. So you just learned a lot.
Yeah, you can't top that, can you?
That's all.
She was like, I'm ready to learn.
Yeah. She all went into there with a plan. Man, so I'm a senior, and I just went there as like one last hoorah. So what was the question? What did I learn?
Okay, so let's change it for your
No. I want to answer that.
From your point of view, overall, all the kickoff campouts you've been to, was one thing you learned. I think overall message.
Oh, man.
Since you're Mr. Senior.
So one thing I learned is that the little hand warmers are not a reliable source of heat. So I stuffed those bad boys all over my sleeping bag. They only kept me warm for just 30 minutes, and I was just back to like freezing like a little chihuahua. I was like, I need a little sun lamp, a little basking stone.
So like a chick.
Yeah.
like a lizard.
Oh man, it was horrible. Like, it was
Hopi.
cold.
He's Hopi. He's from the rocks.
So the second thing I learned was I'm able to keep a fire going during a rainstorm.
Oh yeah,
Man.
that was really impressive actually.
Like that rain just kept coming. It was like boom, like pouring down. It would stop for like 6 to 10 minutes, come down, boom, hard again. It just kept going on and on.
I was
on
waiting
and
for
off,
it.
and I was like, I am not letting this fire die. Like, this is my baby. So I'm not gonna abandon you. And I just kept working at it, and I'm like, at the end of the night, when everything was all said and done, like the storm kind of subsided.
It went
chilled
away.
out. The rain chilled out.
The rain went away. It came again another day. But when that disappeared for just a bit, like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I just can't believe I did it. Like, this fire is still going. And I'm like, oh man, like, I was proud of myself. Like, like I come from a place where there's no electricity whatsoever or water, and I used to get up around like 5:30 in the morning and build a fire for my siblings, so that way when they wake up for school, it's nice and warm in the house. So it's been a long time since I had to use my fire starting skills or even just doing all that stuff. Man, so like I was like, this fire's gonna die. I was like, don't put me in charge. But man, I kept going. So that was another thing I learned. And all of that together, I would say Kickoff Kampout is one of the most important social events here at IBC. And because it happens, see, the cool thing is it happens early within the school year. It's not something like where you're awkwardly meeting people and don't even see. I'm really bad at names. Like
it took him 3 years to remember my name is Hannah, and he still gets it wrong every now and then.
Yeah, so like I'm just really bad at it. So like I said, it's cool because like you learn all this, you do all this stuff, this community relational, like. You do it all in the beginning of school year. You know, you're not coming to school here and like freshmen, aren't coming to here and then that's it. Like, meet them, like get to know these people in your own time. No, like it's kind of hard because like, we have jobs, upperclassmen, and we have jobs, we have ministry work, we have school work, we have homework. We're doing all this stuff, and it's hard to even just like meet some of the people here. And we have T&Ls, we call them Thursday Night Lights, which are basically small get-togethers. But those are kind of optional, so like you don't have to go necessarily. So so you're given the option to be like, oh, like I won't go this week, maybe next week. And then when you do go, like it's always a variety of people. But like Kickoff Kampout, like it happens within the first 4 weeks. So you basically you get to school, you learn your schedule, you get into a good habit of like, oh, like this is what I need to do, like I need to like plan things out. And, you basically, work your way into being, like, fully back into school and not being in a summer mindset. So, yeah, with Kickoff Kampout, like, it happens in the beginning. So, as soon as you go to that, like, it's all that's left behind. Like, your work, you take some time off from work, you take, like, a little break from ministry because, you're somewhere else. What else is there?
Take a break from
you stop
homework.
eating. No, I'm just kidding. No, you take a break from eating. No, but take a break from all that schoolwork and everything, and you're here. You're with these people. Like there's, like you're doing all these things, and on top of that, at Kickoff Kampout, some of the upperclassmen teach actually lessons there. We call them sacred pathways, and you kind of learn how you kind of learn how
you worship.
You worship the Lord. Are you what do you call it? A sensei,
or
like
naturalist,
or naturalist. Do you like being out in nature? Just hearing. Do you like hearing things? No, I'm just kidding. No, no. Like, do you like being out in nature? Like, are you able to just feel God's presence? Through your senses. Man, this breeze feels good. That's gold. And this taco, it tastes so good. That's gold.
Same. That's literally that's one of the things that I was like, praise the Lord for tacos. Praise the Lord for native tacos, because that's how they rate it for my Navajos out there. There's not just Navajo tacos.
You see stuff. You see that sheep getting butchered, and you're like, that's God.
Man.
No, but just different ways. There's 9 of them. Are you more comfortable? Just being in God's presence. Sort of by yourself and just being in solitude. Or even just I taught on ascetic, which was basically solitude and simplicity. Solitude, being by yourself. Simplicity was, taking away all the clutteredness of your life, things that are distracting you. So that's what I taught on. And then you'll go into discipline stuff, working on healthy godly habits. So yeah, we teach and stuff. So with also brings us even closer, even just doing all that stuff, you're the same thing I am. So it even brings you closer in that way. So I don't know, like I said, it's camping. You kind of don't really have anywhere else to go, but be in community with the people you are.
Or in the woods.
Yeah, like you can't just go to your tent and like hide. Well, I guess you could, but
you could hear other people still.
Like there's just something about laughter and joy that kind of draws you in. Like it's really cool. So like that's one thing I learned. It's just how important this Kickoff Kampout is in building community here at IBC, and even more so, the start of like, a beautiful friendship. So, yeah, that's what I learned. Is that your question? I'm not sure. I'm just rambling.
You did good.
Okay,
you
cool.
did good. You did good, Michael. You did great. So
I gotta get paid for this. IBC.
It's okay. We're all of us are not getting paid.
Okay.
Don't worry, you're not alone.
So I kind of shared what I learned earlier. But one other major part of what I learned is how important, well, I guess it's not that I haven't realized it. It's more like I'm officially accepting how important specific types of relationships are over others. Not that certain other friendships or relationships are not good, like relationships in general, friendships in general, community in general is really great, but community with certain people is even better, because there are only certain people who can relate to you in different ways that other people cannot. And getting to cultivate those friendships and those communities, and it was really brought to my attention this past weekend, and now that I'm out of it, not out of that phase, but I mean like out of Kickoff Kampout, I'm more encouraged to pursue those friendships, and I feel more conviction to how I used to respond to those type of when my mentors or other people would point that out to me. I was just like, I don't need it. It's not that important. You're just being over dramatic. But now that I realize how the necessity for different types of community, specific types of community, I feel like I need to go apologize. But I am grateful that I learned it sooner than later. Okay, so last question to wrap it up.
What's your social? No, I'm just kidding.
What is your favorite type of burger? Just kidding. Do you feel like you've experienced greater intimacy with God in this first term? So Kickoff Kampout is, like Michael said, is at the end of 4 weeks after we start off this semester. And a term at IBC is roughly 5 weeks. So, So, Amy, this is your first term at IBC. So, do you feel like you've have greater intimacy with the Lord?
Yeah, I definitely do. I feel like over all these weeks, I've just been growing closer and closer to God. I've realized that when I go to like my classes, like human relations or elements of Bible study, that every time I'm in there, especially with elements of Bible study, I can't help but praise God every time I'm there, because like I'm learning more and more things about Him and about myself and about others, and I'm just growing so much. And it's like it's amazing, especially when you see how God works through those classes and see how they're so founded on biblical truth. And it's amazing, and I definitely could feel myself growing closer to God, especially because I know I got some resistance. Because, when you grow closer to God, of course, the enemy's going to come at you harder. He doesn't want you to grow closer to God. He doesn't want you to have that relationship. But like, I'm thankful to be here at IBC, and I'm thankful that I have this chance to grow closer to God in a way that I know is healthy, in a way that I know is going to be founded on truth and founded in truth. And it's it's amazing. And especially with how, like, you know, God can change, like, you could know something, you could have, like, for me, I have, one of my life verses is Jeremiah 29:11, which is, for I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. That's been one of my life verses. It's pulled me out of dark times. It's helped me get through all these trials and these rough roads. But what I learned yesterday night in Elements of Bible Study, like, it just gave so much more meaning to that verse. The context around the entirety of, like, Jeremiah and everything, learning more about that made that verse so much more impactful, so much more important to me. And it gave it a meaning that it didn't have before. Like, yes, it was very important to me, but I mean, like, after learning the context, it was like, wow, God, wow, you are a great and just God. You are amazing. And I couldn't help but get emotional even, because, again, it's one of my life verses, but he revealed to me it in a different way and made it and gave it more meaning that I hadn't seen before. And especially with that, like, it's making me want to study more. It's making me want to learn more and more about God that I can, because that, just the fact that that meaning became more than it previously was, is just proof of how good God is and how faithful he is to you. It's because you can be reading the Bible over and over and you'll get new stuff out of it every day. It's never like just a repetitive thing. It's like God reveals his word in so many different ways and makes the verses, whatever it is, so much more meaningful. And so, yeah, I definitely feel like God's pushing me in a good direction and bringing me closer to him. And I'm just, again, so thankful that I'm here at IBC, because I feel like I wouldn't have really had that anywhere else. So
That's great. It's good. Nice to see that the Lord's really working.
Like, did you see these questions earlier? I was like, oh my goodness.
No.
It's called being spirit-led, Michael.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm food led.
I'm joking.
No, it's true. I don't know what your question was. Like, I'm gonna take her answer. Yes, I feel the same way.
Do you feel like you've experienced
Jeremiah 29 is tattooed right here. I'm just kidding.
It's in a teardrop.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've experienced greater intimacy with God this first time?
She gave such a great answer. Like, I don't know how to.
Well, you gave a great answer before.
Yeah.
So she's matching your energy.
She's matching energy. Well, okay, read the question just one more time. Okay.
Do you feel like you've experienced greater intimacy with God this first term?
Greater intimacy with God this first term. Is it based off Kickoff Kampout or like in general this first term?
I guess just this first term.
Man, I would say yeah, like these last couple days, like it, in terms of the semester, yeah, I would say it started off a little bit rocky, and I think Kickoff Kampout was something I really needed, just what it was and what it does for the student body. And I think that's something like I at the time I was like, oh, it's just another camping trip. I've been to 3 of them. What's one more? Or I've been to 4. I don't know how long I've been here, but I've been to quite a bit, and I just thought of it as just same routine. So I get there, unpack, have fun, la la la, live, laugh, love, I didn't pack up, come back. But then I realized, like, oh, like when I came back, I was like, oh my goodness, like this is it. This is like my last Kickoff Kampout. And I was like, I honestly don't know how to feel about that, because I'm like, oh, like, man, like it really was such an impactful one. Yeah, there's just something about it. I really did enjoy it. So, like, you know, intimacy with God, yeah, is something that was sort of like on a roller coaster. And after getting close to MIT, getting close to Kickoff Kampout, being there, and then actually, you know, coming back from it, I'm like, oh my goodness, like, yeah, like first term was not the highlights of, I guess, my first couple of weeks being back here, but I would say it is on the rise. Like, you know, even just the lesson I taught on was like something that, like, oh man, like I have not been doing a lot of this, and I think it just reminded me, like, oh, like I need to like get back into it. Like as what Amy was saying, like, you know, if the more you pursue God, you know, the more resistance, that's the, like, I guess those things are going to come up in life, you know, like, you know, the enemy is really going to be working hard against you. Mm-hmm. And so like it is, yeah, like it did for me feel that way in the beginning, where like I wanted to be close to God, like I wanted to be in his presence, but I was just filled with such great hills and stuff. And now that I was, you know, at Kickoff and, you know, coming back from it, I'm like, man, like it feels a whole lot better. And I think Kickoff, you know, was the starting point of that. So yeah, like I would say not the last couple of weeks, but I would say the more weeks following after that has been, you know, where intimacy with God has been at its on its rise, actually. Yeah,
I'll just have same thing with me.
No, you can't take my answer.
It's like a combination of both of those. I'm very much an intellect. That's what my spiritual pathway is. So I find a lot of intimacy with the Lord through the things that I learn. So it's kind of what an intellect is. But kind of with what Michael said, this semester was really a rough start. I think it was just a campus-wide thing. I'm pretty sure everyone felt it. But just reiterating what this whole conversation has been, the more we grow closer to the Lord, the more struggles and battles will come, but the more you surround yourself with the right community, the more easier it becomes, and the more encouragement you get, and those hard times will seem to be even shorter and shorter and shorter, even though they might be more intense or more whatever. But surrounding yourself with a good community, with some good word, and understanding your own path with the Lord is really going to be a catalyst to your growth with the Lord. And that being said, I hope y'all have a good rest of your day, rest of your night. Where Hopi said thank you. Anyways, good night, good morning, have a great day. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.